Hello and welcome back for a sixth time, and today we're mixing it up even further with this Battlefront 2 Legacy Collection 2008 release, Battlefront 2 Clone Pack. It is one of the greatest multi-sets released by Hasbro in the heyday of the 3¼ inch manufacturing days before the Disney acquisition and the subsequent horror. So, this pack contains 6 figures. You're getting, back in the day, you'd be getting a lot for your money. Very good quality figures, all super articulated, bearing in mind this one bugger here, and some of the standing issues with this one here because of his giant chain gun, you know. But it's all very accurate, apart from one detail to the actual appearances that these Clone Trooper specifications had in the Battlefront 2 2005 LucasArts game, which I've played to death. So, let's get started with the standard Trooper. Felucia Trooper mould, Evolutions mould, whatever you want to call it. Removable helmets. First, let's get into that. Nice Tamara Morrison head sculpt. Great lightness. One of my favourites. They used that on the Airborne Trooper as well. He has a ball-jointed head, ball-jointed shoulders, ball-jointed elbows, swivel wrists, swivel waist, swivel hips, ball-jointed knees, and ball-jointed ankles. He has a great detailing, very accurate to 501st Troopers. So that's it for the normal Trooper, but for what you're getting, it's decent. You know, considering there is 5 other figures in this pack. Moving on to the Heavy Trooper, as its designation in the Battlefront 2 2005 video game. This one is quite shit in comparison to the others. He has a ball-jointed head, swivel shoulder on his left arm, swivel elbow on his left arm, swivel wrist, ball-jointed shoulder on his right arm, ball-jointed elbow on his right arm, and swivel wrist on his right arm. He has no articulation in the torso area. He has no articulation in his hips and his knees, but he does have ball-jointed ankles. He has the colour scheme of the 41st Elite Coruscant Landing Platform Troopers and would fit very well in a diorama or army build-up with them. But apart from that, there is nothing spectacular about this figure. He is obviously in the Bakara style specification of Clone Trooper, but he acts as an anti-vehicle role in the game. And bear in mind, this is not the fucking awful video game that everyone goes, oh, it's good now because it's got downloadable content. Not that one. The original Battlefront 2. Moving on to this Clone Sharpshooter. Let us move him up here. I think you can have a decent look at him now. He has the 5th Fleet security markings. He's your standard Airborne Trooper. He is really nicely painted, nicely detailed, well articulated obviously. He has a removable helmet with the same head sculpt that we have seen on that one over there. He has his standard articulation. He has a ball-jointed head, ball-jointed shoulders, ball-jointed elbow, swivel wrists, swivel waist. He has a swivel hips, swivel knees, and ball-jointed knees and ball-jointed ankles. Has very decent battle weathering. Bear in mind, this is the second release of this pack, and they actually did some, I'd say, they did some painting of the figures to make them look like they have actually been in any conflict whatsoever. Moving on, this guy, Mr. Engineer, Clone Engineer or Combat Engineer, has the, he goes in with the 2008 Legacy Collection Commander Faye. He has a head sculpt likened to more of a Stormtrooper appearance, a bit more of a transitional aesthetic that is going on with it. He has the 2005 super articulated Clone Trooper mould, which has been done to fucking death by Hasbro before Disney came in. Fucks everything up, obviously. Don't need to say that again. He has a ball-jointed head, ball-jointed shoulders, ball-jointed elbows, swivel wrists, swivel hips, ball-jointed waist, ball-jointed knees, and ball-jointed ankles. He has the antenna that goes in there. He was originally packed in with a droid blaster, but he does not use one in the game. Great. Now, moving on to the Clone Commander, or slightly darker Galactic Marine from its first release in the 2007 30th Anniversary Collection. He has a massive fuck-off chain gun, which has been used several times in figures, notably the Kota's Militia in the Force Unleashed original battle pack in 2009, and the Bark Trooper, which was released in the Order 66 sets and single-carded in the Legacy Collection. He is a decently painted, decently articulated figure. His head sculpt is fucking shite, though. Here you go. He has that really weird Clone Trooper head sculpt, which is more like Bodie Taylor than Tamara Morrison. So I don't know why they kept doing that with certain figures. But in terms of articulation, he has a ball-jointed head, ball-jointed shoulders. If you stand him up so we can do this. Ball-jointed elbows, swivel wrists, swivel hips, ball-jointed knees, and ball-jointed ankles. He is pretty much not really necessary to do the colours. It is slightly darker. They could have just repacked that 30th Anniversary Collection single-carded Galactic Marine in. Now the last one, perhaps some people's favourites, one of mine, the Jet Trooper. Now, despite him looking great, his articulation is quite whack. He's got this very not really utilised mould, but it is slightly articulated. He has a ball-jointed head, swivel arms, let's just say swivel arms. He has, you know, articulation points in the shoulders, elbows and wrists, but they're all swivels. He has swivel hips, ball-jointed knees and ball-jointed ankles. He has an EMP launcher. So now that we've covered the articulation, there's some inaccuracies. Notably, the Commander, or Galactic Marine, doesn't have a backpack in the game. Apart from that, these figures are really good. If you can get it, you are most likely going to find these loose, individually listed on eBay for buy it nows. I don't know the majority of where they are located in the most abundance, but these figures are great. You know, it's a great addition. I don't know why they released it 2 years after the game released, but I'm happy that they released it when they did, because Hasbro is not doing stuff like this now. When you look at it this way, you've got pretty much everyone. They did a droid pack as a sister set, which is even better. I do not have that, and the 3 1/4 inch droid figures really aren't too big on quality, as they always need stands after a while because their legs tend to warp. But now this is it. This is the end of the review. I highly recommend this. If you can find it, you probably can. You have a better chance of finding it than the rarer comic packs that I have previously covered. Apart from that, go good luck hunting, not goodwill hunting, with Matt Damon. Don't contact Matt Damon. He probably won't answer you. Goodbye.